Welcome back to Universal Things. Today, we dive into the weirdest and funniest mythical beliefs ever imagined as stories so strange, you'll wonder, did people really believe this? Myths are more than stories. They are mirrors of human curiosity, fear, and humor. Across cultures, people invented invisible tricksters, magical animals, and terrifying spirits to explain the unexplainable, and sometimes to enforce rules in clever ways. From Japanese shape-shifting raccoons to Scandinavian trolls, from farting spirits to floating heads, humanity's imagination has always gone wild. And today, we'll explore the stories that are both educational and entertaining, keeping you hooked till the very end. By the time we finish, you'll see that myths aren't just ancient nonsense, they are lessons wrapped in creativity, humor, and fear. You might even wonder, if you lived in that time, what would you have believed? In Japan, the mischievous tanuki raccoon dogs with magical powers could shapeshift into humans, teapots, monks, or even noblemen. Villagers blamed missing items, strange sounds, or unexpected luck on their antics, turning everyday mishaps into magical stories. The tanuki's playful antics weren't just fun stories. They reflected human curiosity about the unknown and encouraged clever problem-solving. Their pranks could explain lost items, overturn carts, or even awkward social situations. Would you trust your luck around a tanuki? In Scotland, kelpies were shape-shifting water horses that lured humans into rivers, dragging the careless underwater. Beautiful yet deadly, kelpies inspired awe and fear, reminding villagers of the dangers hidden in seemingly calm waters. Imagine walking by a river and seeing a horse that seems real only to vanish or pull you in. Kelpies were terrifying, but their stories cleverly taught caution near deep or fast-flowing rivers while sparking imagination. In Sri Lanka, villagers told tales of yakas, invisible demons blamed for illness, bad luck, and strange sounds at night. Healers performed dances and rituals, offering food to appease these spirits, blending fear with tradition. Yakas may sound funny today, but they explained misfortune before medicine existed and encouraged community rituals. These myths taught respect for the unseen and turned anxiety into shared cultural practices. The Inuit believed that whistling at the northern lights could summon spirits to decapitate you. A chilling story, yes, but poetic too, warning respect for nature and the powerful, mysterious lights dancing across the Arctic sky. This myth shaped behavior and patience. Would you risk whistling at the aurora if you were alone in the frozen wilderness? Fear, beauty, and caution merged in one memorable story. Aboriginal Australians imagined the rainbow serpent, a giant snake creating rivers, mountains, and landscapes. Its presence was both terrifying and beautiful, giving structure to the environment and guiding communities through floods and droughts. The rainbow serpent taught respect for natural forces while turning human observation into vibrant, imaginative storytelling. Would you worship or fear a snake so enormous it shapes the land itself? Ancient Greeks feared Medusa, whose gaze turned humans to stone. More than horror, her story symbolized the dangers of unchecked power, beauty, and envy. Her legend became a metaphor for human caution and consequence. Medieval Europeans believed barnacle geese grew on trees because no one had seen their nests. Eating them during fasting wasn't breaking rules, a perfect loophole, blending logic, humor, and faith. Imagining geese sprouting from driftwood seems absurd today, yet it shows human creativity at work. Myths often filled gaps in knowledge with clever and funny explanations. Would you believe this if you lived back then? In China, the beis, a talking ox-like creature, warned emperors of hidden dangers and monsters. Receiving national security advice from a polite cow may sound ridiculous, yet the story symbolized wisdom coming from unexpected sources. The beis reminds us that even the strangest myths carried practical lessons. Sometimes, intelligence could appear in the unlikeliest forms, turning animals into teachers and protectors in folklore. In the Philippines, the manananggal was a woman who could split her body in half and hunt at night. She terrified villagers, but also explained sudden illness and night terrors, giving shape to the fears of the unknown. garlic and salt were used to repel her centuries before vampires became popular in Western lore. Myths like this combine fear, protection, and social guidance into a captivating tale. Medieval Europeans feared cats could steal souls during sleep. This elevated cats to both holy and cursed status, mysterious, unpredictable, and perfectly suited for superstition. Cats' strange nighttime behavior reinforced these beliefs, making them central to folklore. Humor and fear intertwined in animal myths, shaping behavior and cultural norms. South America told of El Silban, a ghost carrying his father's bones and whistling ominously. Hearing his whistle meant doom if far, safety if near. A poetic, terrifying explanation of mysterious sounds at night. Such tales embedded moral lessons and survival instincts, showing how myths turn fear into education and storytelling into cultural heritage. In Africa, the Tokoloshi was a tiny demon causing nightmares. Families raised beds on bricks to avoid its mischief. Early engineering inspired by folklore, blending fear with humor. Icelandic myths describe Huldufólk, hidden elves living in rocks. Builders often avoid moving stones to respect these spirits, showing how myths influence real-life decisions even today. Imagine negotiating construction plans with invisible beings. These myths merged imagination with caution, keeping communities safe while inspiring wonder. In Mexico, La Llorona, the weeping woman, cried near rivers to warn children of danger. Tragic, chilling, and poetic, her story encouraged care, awareness, and respect for children's safety. Myths like La Llorona turned fear into social guidance, weaving morality into the fabric of storytelling. Would you dare approach a river at night if you'd heard her cries? Ancient Egyptians believed onions could protect against evil spirits, placing them in the eyes of pharaohs during burial. Layers symbolized eternity, and the pungent aroma was thought to ward off unseen forces. It's strange, yet deeply symbolic, turning a common vegetable into a mystical guardian. Medieval Europeans thought garlic could prevent vampires and repel bad smells, blending superstition with practicality. Sometimes myths combined humor, caution, and health advice in one package, and humans ate garlic like magic medicine. Japan's kappa, turtle-like water demons, were known for dragging people underwater. But if you bowed to them, they would politely bow back, filling the water that kept them alive. Respect and manners could literally save your life. Myth as a social lesson disguised as fear. Parents' tales warn children of kappa while teaching etiquette. Imagine a mischievous river spirit judging your behavior, terrifying and funny at the same time. Ireland's leprechauns, hiding gold at rainbow ends, were mischievous and greedy. Trick them, or they tricked you. These stories warned about desire, patience, and cleverness while entertaining generations. African ads, vampiric fireflies, could possess humans. Belief in them encouraged hygiene and community caution before germs were understood. Early science wrapped in terrifying storytelling. Peru's Omaru, a giant serpent controlling water, could flood villages if angered. Farmers respected rivers and feared the serpent's wrath. Myths often explain natural disasters while teaching humans how to survive in harmony with nature. Germany's Rubazal, mountain spirits, could help or trick travelers. Stories warned that arrogance or disrespect toward nature could bring misfortune, blending morality with entertainment. Korea's Gumiho, nine-tailed foxes, shapeshifted into humans to seduce or deceive. Their legend warned of appearances versus reality and the dangers of desire, combining humor, drama, and moral caution. Norway's trolls turned to stone in sunlight. These myths taught children to respect mountains and nature, blending fear, humor, and natural observation into memorable tales. Japan's Oni, horned ogres, punished the wicked. Their red or blue faces served as moral warnings. Stories combine vivid imagination with lessons on morality and consequences. Greece's centaurs, half human, half horse, embodied duality, wisdom and wildness, culture and instinct. They entertained, taught lessons, and reminded humans of inner contradictions. Australia's bunyip, a swamp-dwelling creature, devoured humans foolish enough to explore waterways. Legends warn children about dangerous terrain, combining fear, fun, and survival advice. Finland's Hisi, forest spirits, trick travelers, and protected sacred areas. Respect the woods, or suffer mischievous consequences. Myths guiding behavior in wild landscapes. Japan's Yukiana, snow women, could freeze humans with a touch. Tales warned of winter dangers while enchanting listeners with beauty and terror combined. Japan's no Parabi, faceless ghosts, terrified travelers. Ordinary appearances hiding the strange amplified fear and imagination, turning simple walks into unforgettable lessons about the unknown. Native American skinwalkers transformed into animals to deceive humans. Stories warned of trickery, ethical behavior, and the dangers of misusing power, blending morality, mystery, and awe. Norse Draugr and dead warriors guarded graves with vengeance. These myths encouraged proper rituals and respect for the dead, teaching morality through horror and storytelling. Japan's Aka Manto, a red cape ghost haunting bathrooms, forced victims to choose between two deadly options. The bizarre urban legend entertained and warned, mixing humor with fear. Scotland's Bean Night, washerwomen spirits, foretold death by washing clothes in streams. Seeing her was terrifying, yet predictive myths gave humans a sense of control over uncertainty. China's Huli Jing, fox spirits, could be clever allies or dangerous seducers. Their stories blended caution with fascination, teaching humans to recognize deceit while celebrating imagination. Would you trust a beautiful fox offering wisdom? Africa's Impundulu, the lightning bird, was believed to strike humans to enforce respect for storms. Myths like this combine natural phenomena with supernatural storytelling, keeping communities alert and awed. Japan's Kasho, fiery cat demons, stole corpses from funerals to punish wickedness. These stories turn morality into imagination, showing consequences of greed and disrespect while frightening audiences. Africa's Makombembe, a river-dwelling dinosaur-like creature, inspired exploration and awe. Though probably mythical, it taught respect for rivers and unknown landscapes while fueling the imagination. Japan's Nu, a chimera with the head of a monkey and body of a tiger, brought misfortune to villages. Such bizarre hybrids remind us how imagination turned fear into storytelling while embedding life lessons. Celtic banshees warned of impending death through their wailing cries. Stories were terrifying, yet poetic, teaching humans to heed warning signs and respect mortality with solemn awe. In South America, the Curupira, a forest protector with backward feet, tricked hunters, respect the forest, or get lost. These myths cleverly taught environmental awareness, safety, and humility through storytelling. Europe's green children of Wolpit appeared with green skin and strange language. Myths like this fueled curiosity, inspired questions about human origins, and kept imaginations alive for generations. Africa's Tikoloshi caused mischief or illness, but leaving offerings could appease it. Stories mixed fear and humor while teaching precaution and respect for the unseen. Norse Huldra, forest women with cow tails, seduced humans. Their myths warned against temptation while exploring beauty, danger, and human desire, entertaining and morally instructive. Japan's Yamamba, mountain witches, could either help or harm travelers. Mountains became places of awe and danger, and story-rich imagination, combining geography with moral caution. The Philippines Caper, a giant tree-dwelling smoker, watched over forests. Misbehave or disrespect nature, and the caper could spook you, blending fear, humor, and environmental caution. Korea's Bulgasari, a metal-eating monster, terrorized villages yet symbolized destruction from unchecked greed. Myths embedded social lessons into fantastical creatures, teaching restraint and creativity simultaneously. Native American Wendigo, a spirit of insatiable hunger, warned against greed and selfishness. Fear, morality, and imagination intertwined to guide communities while entertaining listeners. Japan's Yorigumo, a spider woman, lured victims to her lair. Stories combine horror, beauty, and cleverness, reflecting cautionary tales about desire and deception in an engaging way. Africa's Mami water spirits could reward or punish humans, blending allure and danger. Communities learned respect for water, trade, and rituals myth as social guidance wrapped in enchantment. The Philippines tikbalang, horse-headed humanoids, trick travelers. Respect roads and forests, or face humorous mischief myths blending humor, morality, and fear with vivid imagery. Native American thunderbirds, gigantic birds causing storms, taught respect for weather and nature. Powerful, awe-inspiring creatures made humans think about forces beyond control. Africa's Obeifo, vampire-like witches, drained life energy. Myths warned against envy, greed, or moral corruption, combining terror and moral lessons with unforgettable imagery. Greece's Hydra, a multi-headed serpent, regenerated when decapitated. Stories of heroism against impossible odds taught resilience, strategy, and awe for monsters beyond imagination. Egypt's Bennu, the phoenix-like bird, symbolized rebirth and the sun. Mystical creatures became metaphors for cycles, immortality, and hope, blending spirituality with imagination. Europe's Krampus, punishing naughty children, blended fear, discipline, and dark humor, creating traditions still alive in Christmas folklore. Greece's Sirens, singing women of the sea, lured sailors to destruction. Stories taught caution, curiosity, and the dangers of temptation while inspiring art and music. Across cultures, myths reveal how humans used imagination to teach, muse, and caution. From raccoon pranks to faceless ghosts, each story reflects creativity, humor, and lessons about life. Humanity's weirdest and funniest myths show curiosity, humor, morality, and awe. They entertain, educate, and inspire wonder, proving that even the strangest stories have power to teach, thrill, and captivate us forever.